right here by getting the graphics all in order. All right. Your list is now on the screen, and you are ready to present whenever you feel fit.
So it's going down, as you guys can see, of course. The Chiefs absolutely clapped the Commanders, 38-7.
Are you going
Absolutely.
first Are you going first, or do
We're
you
going
want?
first. Yeah, we're gonna go first. We're gonna go
Okay.
because it's the obvious first. As of right
Yeah.
now.
Okay.
Go 10
Obvious
to first.
first.
You want to go 10? You want to go 10? We'll go
Yeah,
10.
start
Let's go 10.
off at 10.
All right. So we got the Bolts, the Chargers. You know what I'm saying? Hardball's
Disgusting.
team is not too shabby. And of course it hurt me because basically my childhood quarterback, I got his shoulder absolutely eviscerated and is not going to be playing the rest of the season at all. But that's not even the point. The point is
How old are you?
huh?
You mean like your high school quarterback?
He came in 20? Oh, he came in 2016. My fault. I thought he came in earlier than that. My fault. I went through the horrendous era of Sam Bradford and shit like that. So I completely forgot about that section of my life. It was pretty depressing.
Forgettable part. Keep it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So what's it called? The Chargers coming out the way they did against a Vikings defense that the Eagles had the hard time and everything like that. I had to give that respect that they were really dicing them up for what's it called, for what they had, I guess, schemed up, being what I think Quentin Johnston played but didn't do so hot. McConkey was cooking. All these other starters or all these other players that really weren't. Yeah, we're going off against them. So it's like, I'm going to give them the respect there. I thought that was pretty solid. Coming up next, the Patriots, they're pretty solid, okay? I don't think I've had them in, in my picks or in my top 10 for a hot minute. They've been more of my honorable mentions, I believe. But now I'm going to give them that respect. They've been cooking. They're doing what they got to do. Drake May, I'll give Joey that respect that he's a pretty solid quarterback right now. I just don't like...
Best deep thrower in the league right now.
I just don't like what they have for the run game. I don't like that these receivers that don't really have any film on them. All I'm going to say is at one point we thought Travis Fulgham was going to be fantastic. And then what happened? They got film on him and he is not in the league anymore. So it's now we're going to see what is it going to take for Booty, Diggs, Hunter Henry, and this offense to actually start to get film on them. And then they start proving that more, then of course I'll bring them up more, but I can't really give them more than 9 right now. Next, the Packers. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't think, right, that the Packers really won that game. I think the Steelers lost that game personally. And watching that whole scheme, it was things were just piling up over and over and over and over again. They weren't really getting overwhelmed. They weren't really allowing a bunch of ish to really happen. It was what's it called? Of course, Parsons got pressure periodically. But Rodgers was not throwing a lot of good balls in a sense. What's it called? Shots to DK or Jonnu Smith, the quick dump off, because Parsons is probably 6 yards away from him and he's just throwing it away. And it's to me, it was the Steelers weren't playing like they normally do, plus a lot of the extra pushing and extra physicality. It's you start throwing yourself off as a team. So, but I'm going to give the Packers their respect. They did cook a really good defense, or a really good defense, even though I believe right now they're the most expensive defense with the worst production right now. So, take that for what you will, Joey, Mr. number 32 over 32 or whatever, how you mentioned in the last video.
Yeah.
Next, going the Rams.
Number 7. Sorry, I figured I'll add that for you moving forward.
Appreciate you. Number 7, the Rams. Even though they had a bye this week, they're still the Rams. I'm gonna give them that respect. Can't really take them out of where they're at. It's just other teams have been moving up because of their production this week. So of course, when you go on the bye, I really look at it you're gonna go back because you don't really know what type of team you are after the bye. You might say you're so good, but listen, I already experienced 2023. When we came out of the bye, we were absolutely horrible. So, and that's just my thing. So, but the Rams are the Rams, and that's basically where I have them there. Now, the Broncos.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Oh,
yeah, number 5. Thank you. the Broncos. For me, Bo Nix, fire. RJ Harvey, right? Joey, you were big on him for a hot minute. And I
Still am.
literally am the one guy. I was like, yo, fantasy. There was a part of me. I was like, this guy is going to go off on a game. And who is he going to do it against? And it was a feeling in my chest. It was going to be against the Cowboys. And that's how I won a couple of my
It's not
fantasy
really a
leagues.
hot take because everybody's going off.
Let him
against us.
go. Let him keep going. We know your defense sucks.
And then also, too, it's like the response.
I want to
in
make a
which-
side note here. This is just totally off topic, but Caleb Williams, he has 4 pass touchdowns against Dallas. I think the rest of the league, he has like 3. Well, something like that. Something stupid like that.
All right, save it for the response.
Okay,
You'll have your
so-
chance.
Also, too, another thing is it's like Dak has been extremely well against passing in all schemes. And now he has more interceptions than Jalen Hurts. So it's like I'm going to give that aspect to the Broncos, the respect to the Broncos defense to be able to like fluster an offense. Like I said, the best offense versus the best defense. And that best defense made an offense flustered. You got to give him the flowers. I'm going to give that respect. And Bo Nix, for the situation that he's in, he's making it happen with Evan Ingram, Cortland Sutton. Was it Vele? I think Vele's still there. And then that rookie
No,
they got.
yeah, traded to the Saints.
Troy Franklin.
Franklin. Yeah. Then what's it called? So it's like they got Cortland Sutton. Of course, he's still like a solid weapon, but it's like they're actually able to make it happen.
Franklin went
with,
off.
huh?
Franklin went off and Harvey went off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but still, quality. I know Sutton got some good passes and shit like that to him, but it was like it wasn't as
towards
like
the end of the game.
or as
Towards
much.
the end of the game, they figured out they could just pick on Bridges, and they did that the rest of the game. And they were like every reception went to your guy Sutton. After that, they just picked on that bum corner we got.
All right, I messed up the last number. This one is number 5. Unless if you had anything else to say.
No.
Number 5.
So now, going on, it's the Birds. We're back in the top 5, how I see it. Why? Because we did what we were supposed to do. Finally, coming back, showing up, showing out, how we should have. I know, for example, what's it called? The whole Scatterboo situation and everything like that. And it's like, of course, I'm not going to sit here. Scott, I didn't give you no grief. I didn't go crazy, go stupid about the Eagles win. Why? Because that's what should have happened. That's what we should have been doing, whatever the case is. And that's why it's like, I'm not going to be one of those Eagles fans that are just like, oh my God, you see, we're back. It's like, no, we're back to what we should be doing. Now it's like, how do we go through the bye and then exceed that? So it's like, there is not a lot of teams in the NFC that, if we're doing what we need to do, can beat us and can put us out in the playoffs. So if that's the case, like we're definitely a top 5 power ranking team overall, 100%.
Okay.
Let's see. Number 4, right, Scotty?
Number 4.
All right, number 4. I got the Colts. Like, I gotta give them their flowers, bro. Like, they're pretty good.
Do you watch football?
Yes, I do watch football, clearly. So, yo, the Colts are definitely Joey's number 1. I could already tell. I didn't get to see the ish yet, but what's it called? The Colts, number 4, 100%. And I'm gonna give them that respect. But it's like if the Eagles decided to play the Jets and we cooked them the way the Colts cooked the Titans, I would be sitting here in absolute fire, getting roasted by everybody saying, "Congrats, you beat the Jets." Well, if the Colts are such a great team, right? And I'm gonna give them 4 because they are showing up and showing out, but they lost to a playoff team like the Rams. Just squeezed it out against the Broncos. That it's like
Broncos are undefeated versus NFC
Here,
East.
well, we can go back and forth with the who beat who because I got something special for you guys this week. But Dan, state your case. Why are they number 4?
So number 4, awesome. Jonathan Taylor, personally MVP season. This dude's cooking. I have no issue, no problem. Daniel Jones is performing above everybody's standard, and I have absolutely all respect for him right now. That's basically my whole concept of it. And the defense is actually able to the defense is actually well put together. And it's not like, you're looking for this one star player that's doing it. It's like everybody as a collective is making that defense really good. So that's why I have the Colts at 4. Next, the Lions. The Lions are gonna go on a bye, but I feel like they're still gonna come back and be the Lions. Physical, wanting to run the ball. Amon-Ra St. Brown, being a little like zesty after every catch. Like that's just them. That's just what they do. That's just how it is. And I don't see them stopping really from that. All of their players, I believe, are healthy on defense still. So there's nothing really right now at this moment with how the Lions have been playing and what they've been doing to make me feel like they stopped.
Okay.
Coming at number 2.
Number 2.
Yeah, I have the Bills. And the reason why I have the Bills here now is because when the Bills have a bye, Joey, let's be for real here. When the Bills come off a bye and they have a game the way they just had it against the Panthers, a streak happens with them where it's going to slowly digress as the season goes on. But as of right now, they are that top dog team who's able to go and have productive play and could be something, of course, in the playoffs. And it's like, I'm curious now as to if they could keep the fire or is it going to die out like it normally does. And that's why they're my number 2. And then number 1, the Chiefs.
Number 1.
They just took the Commanders. They absolutely handled their business. And it's Mahomes. Like, you really can't count on Mahomes right now. And the fact that he's really like starting to come back in his division right now. But it's kind of crazy just because I think other teams besides the Raiders are winning. So it's going to be a rough one.
Yeah. All right, guys. That was Dan's list. And before we get in any more jabs, first, Joey, you got to give your list next. So let me prepare by popping your list up on the screen right here and getting that ready. And you are good to present. Joey, why don't you hit us with your top 10, starting with your number 10.
Danny, my number 10 team, I have the Tampa Bay Bucks. And Danny, did you have the Bucks on your list?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Yeah, no Bucks on Dan's list.
I didn't have the Bucks.
That's pretty interesting. I mean, at one point a couple weeks ago, we had them as like a top 3 to 5 team. I still view them pretty positively, but I am reacting to the Mike Evans injury and then no Bucky, no Chris Godwin. So waiting to see those guys come back. But for now, I got to put them at 10. I did not want to leave them off the list, though. I'll say that.
Okay. Number 9.
Number 9. I got the Denver Broncos, and I feel like this might be a little too low on them, and I think I want to swap them with my number 7 team. You'll later find out. But the Broncos, to me, look like a complete team, offense, defense. They were good at everything, and I learned that Sunday. They put it all together. Then again, worst defense in football. Tough to know how real. I got to give them credit though. They're undefeated versus the NFC East so far. I think they only have to play the Commanders, right? They haven't played them yet.
Yeah, they haven't played them.
But they've owned our division, and I got to give them credit. We've been sleeping on them because none of us have had them in our list until this week. So I got them at 9, but I think
go ahead.
I got them at 9, but I think I'd rather put them at 7 and then bump my 7 and 8 teams down.
Okay. So,
no, go ahead.
Number 8.
Number 8, I got the Buffalo Bills. They had a great week against the Panthers, but I'm going to keep in mind with the context, it's the Panthers. It was Andy Dalton. So I kind of expected what we saw there. They are missing a number 1 receiver on their offense. You got to stop James Cook. You beat the Bills. We all know that. What had happened on Sunday, James Cook went off. So that's kind of what happens when you let that happen. It's just the recipe for the Bills. You got to stop James Cook. Number 7. I got the Green Bay Packers. This is the team that I would want to bump down. I think I would bump the Packers and Bills down a spot, but the Broncos at 7. I think that's the right spot for them.
Okay.
But we can't make that adjustment now. We're already in this. And Green Bay dominated. They dominated the Steelers this week. Jordan Love had his best game of the year, I'd say. They got Christian Watson back. He played a lot more than I expected. Matthew Golden absolutely disappeared, but I can't be surprised. Matthew Golden hasn't had a 100-yard receiving game since he was a freshman at Houston in college, just to give you an idea of how bad that pick was. So, yeah, the Packers, they have a bunch of number twos, like we know. And, this is what I guess the addition of Christian Watson will definitely help them offensively. Their defense still hasn't showed me everything I want to see, but they dismantled, I guess we could say, a bad Steelers defense. They've been getting killed by everybody at this point, and I was disappointed for Aaron Rodgers not to get that W.
Number
So,
six.
Number 6, I got the Seattle Seahawks. This is I bumped them down a bit. Kind of feel like I had to do it. I like them. I'm higher on them than most of you guys, I think. I would rather have them in my top 5, but for now I'm leaving them at 6. I like what Sam Darnold's doing. I like Jackson, Smith, and Jigba. And their defense is disgusting, and they have a pretty easy schedule coming up. So I'm really interested to see how them and the Rams shake out for their division going forward. But for now, I got them at 6, just for the list. So these people don't get mad. That's kind of why I did it.
Number 5.
Number 5, I have the New England Patriots. I think they are by far better than the Bills. I think Drake May is the clear MVP, runaway candidate right now. Because we know the MVP is a QB award, so for that matter, Drake May should be getting that award, with my opinion, from what I've seen him do. He's disgusting. Easily a top 3 quarterback, probably number 1 quarterback. I mean, him and Mahomes, you pick your pick with those two. But Drake, I'm just really impressed with Drake May, and I'm looking forward to seeing them play with some better teams, but I got to keep them as a top 5 team until otherwise.
Number 4.
Number 4, I have the Detroit Lions. I know Packers fans are going to tell me week 1 they beat the Lions, but that was week 1. I think we all know who the Lions are offensively. They are a juggernaut, and they have been playing like that. And their defense is healthier this year, so I'm interested to see if maybe this is the year the Lions put it all together.
Number 3.
Number 3, I have the Los Angeles Rams. Pretty obvious why. I think they are the best team in the NFC right now. I think their loss to the Eagles was a fluke. So I discount that loss. Matthew Stafford is Matthew Stafford, and they're doing this without Puka, so got to give the Rams my flowers. I was definitely hesitant to do that preseason, but they're kind of forcing my hand here. Got to put them at 3.
Number 2.
Number 2, I have the Kansas City Chiefs. They look like one of the best teams in football, but to me, they look like the second best team in football. Rashee Rice has been a problem since he's returned. He averages like 20 points per game, and their offense is just a problem now. They're back to being the Chiefs. The Chiefs are the Chiefs, and for that reason, I got them at 2.
Number 1.
Number 1, I have the best team in football, the Indianapolis Colts, as you can tell by the jersey.
2 weeks in a row.
Jonathan, 2 weeks in a row, I have the Colts at 1. They just look like a complete football team, just like the Chiefs. Daniel Jones has endless weapons, it appears, on offense. And then when you are aided by what Jonathan Taylor's doing, carrying the rock, I mean, it's pretty easy to see why they're 1. Jonathan Taylor is by runaway, you could say MVP, but if you reference Barkley's season last year, he wouldn't win it. So, but he should win Offensive Player of the Year. But Colts being 7-1, they're 6-0 in their conference play. So I just don't know how you can justify having them any lower right now. I don't know. They're the best team in football right now.
All right, so 3 of us are back on screen for a moment. That was Joey's list. I can show it to you guys one more time before I get ready to show you mine. Here it is. He's got Colts 1, Chiefs 2, Rams 3, Lions 4, Patriots 5, Seahawks 6, Packers 7, Bills 8, Broncos 9, and Buccaneers 10. So I'm going to bring us back up to hide my screen for just a second while I pop up my graphics. Hi, Joey's. And now you all should be able to see my blank list. Alrighty. So we have gone through both Dan's top 10, and we have gone through Joey's top 10, and now we're going to go through my top 10. So for this week, I do want to include 3 honorable mentions. I do feel like it's a good time to do that. I did not discourage you guys to have any, so if you have any at the end of my list that you want to include as honorable mentions, please do so. But here are my honorable mentions. First one is the Baltimore Ravens. They won by some miracle last week because they had no Lamar Jackson, but they were still able to beat the Bears. As Joey mentioned, the Bears have been terrible against every defense except the Cowboys, really, when it comes to passing the ball. So Ravens kind of skate by. They're 2-5. They get Lamar back healthy. I think they're going to be one of the most talented teams in football when he's playing. So honorable mention to the Ravens, expecting them to break into the top 10. Another honorable mention, Chargers, 5-3. They have Joe Alt back. That offense looked really dangerous versus the Vikings. Justin Herbert passing the ball like a madman. Really like what he's doing. And then this is probably my first shocker of the day, and it's going to seem kind of inexplicable, but I will explain it to you. The Seahawks, as my 10th honorable mention, I don't know what it was, but as I started going through this list, breaking down all the teams' worst losses or most meaningful losses, and then their most meaningful wins, just kind of comparing what they've done to the rest of the other 10 teams, I just didn't quite feel like in retrospect they've really done anything so groundbreaking. I definitely think they're in the tier of the lower half top 10 teams, but I am leaving them out of my list this week. So a little surprising, no Seahawks for Scott this week on his list. But let's get into the top 10. So for me, at number 10, we have the New England Patriots. Yes, that's right. I have the Patriots above the Seahawks. And a big reason for me why is because of Drake May. And obviously we've seen what he's done, but team and roster matters a lot too. Well, this team, their best win, I would say, is better than the Seahawks' best win. This Patriots team beat the Bills. Whereas with the Seahawks, their 2 best wins are against the Steelers and Jaguars. Now, this Patriots team did have 2 uglier losses, probably the 2 ugliest losses of any top 10 team. That's why they're here at 10, losing to the Raiders and Steelers. So really impressed with what Drake May has been able to do with the offense, and Mike Vrabel kind of leading this team. But ultimately, those 2 losses against the Raiders and the Steelers are a little ugly and kind of hard to get out of my head. But they are 6-2. So they stay and remain at number 10. Number 9 for me is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are also staying put. They are now 6-2. And to me, this Bucs team might have the 2 best losses of any of the top 10 teams. They lost to the Lions and they lost to the Eagles. Now, conversely, their impressive wins are against the Seahawks, 49ers, and Texans. But the reason those got so much hype is because Baker Mayfield was doing it with all the injuries. But Joey mentioned Mike Evans is injured and he's going to be out for a while. Now, the offensive line and Godwin can get back healthier, and so can Bucky, even though that's been sketchy too. But until I see at least some of this offense come back, I'm not just going to simply project that all of these guys are going to get healthy and firing by the time the playoffs roll around. But still a very impressive team. We know their ceiling's amazing. Buccaneers, number 9. Let me include this again. Number 8. At number 8, I have the 6-2 Denver Broncos, who are a new team on my list. I could have sworn I had them in the top 10 at one point and maybe dropped them out. But yeah, they're 6-2. Their most impressive losses are to the Colts, who is Joey's number 1 team, and the Chargers, who we know with Joe Alt at the time was a very impressive low-scoring defensive showdown. So them winning that game, or them losing that game to the Chargers, it was when they were kind of the best version of themselves. But their best wins, as Joey mentioned, undefeated versus the NFC East, beating the Eagles and Cowboys, shutting down the Cowboys offense and playing better in the trenches versus the Eagles. And, when it comes to third downs and stuff, just really impressive, cohesive football team with the Broncos. And they could get dangerous in the playoffs, especially if they're healthy. Then my number 7 team is the 6-2 Philadelphia Eagles. And this Eagles team is moving up 1 spot for me this week. Their 3 best wins might be the best 3 wins of any NFL team. Beating the Rams, beating the Buccaneers, and beating the Chiefs. Now, there are questions about how the Eagles won these games and if it's sustainable, coming from special teams. And, some people were talking about the officiating in that Chiefs game, where it's not really like these convincing wins, but it's still 3 of the most impressive wins. If you're playing that close, you're doing something right. Now, they do have 2 losses that aren't so handsome. They had lost to the Broncos. Better team than the Broncos, shouldn't have lost to them, but it's a respectable loss. But they did lose to that Giants team on primetime, essentially fully healthy. They did lose Quignon in that game, and they didn't have Carter. But you should not be allowing a practice squad led by a rookie quarterback to move the ball on your defense like that, especially when you did not lose your defensive coordinator. That really worries me. Looks like the offense got some life with Saquon Barkley. A little weird with what's going on with A.J. Brown right now, though. I'd like some more clarity before they move into my top 5. Number 6. We have the Buffalo Bills at 5-2, coming off the bye, looking really strong. But it was the Panthers. The context is important. Their 2 losses this year are very ugly. Patriots and Falcons. Now, this Falcons team, when they're fully healthy, they're a little bit different, and that Bills team did verse the best version of this Falcons team. But what a hideous loss. I mean, seriously, for a Bills team that we have such high expectations for. But their best win, to me, was what I considered the second best team in football in Week 1, the Ravens. That fully healthy Ravens team was no joke. And the Bills showed more cohesiveness as a team, better end-of-game management, clock situation, better coaching decisions. And that mixed with Josh Allen and a run game and James Cook rolling is surefire going to be projecting to be a top 5 team. I want to see it against a good team, so that's why they're still number 6. And then at number 5, I got the Green Bay Packers also staying put. The Bills moved up a spot, but they did not surpass the Packers for me. Why? Well, the Packers are 5-1-1. Their losses this year are to the Cleveland Browns, and then essentially them tying to the Cowboys has been viewed as a loss in many's eyes. I view that Browns game as very fluky. There were some fluky things in that Cowboys game, but they still did end up tying. Now, they didn't have Devontae Wyatt and Lucas Van Ness for a little bit, but they had him back in the Steelers game, and the results showed in the pressure that Rodgers was under. You got to remember, this Packers team, yes, it was Week 1, but they still did crush that Lions team when they were fully healthy. They've now beaten the Steelers, someone we were talking about, a top 10 team. But then just really the Commanders. I mean, other than that Lions win Week 1, it has been us kind of waiting for an impressive win by them. And I am still waiting to see that, but the potential's clearly there. They looked better this week, coming back healthy. So I like the Packers at 5. At number 4, I got the Indianapolis Colts also staying put for me. For them, they're 7-1. Their only loss is to the Rams, which is one hell of a loss. I mean, if that's going to be your only loss in the season. And then their 2 best wins are against the Broncos and Chargers, 2 teams that are narrowly in my top 10, at least for the Chargers, working their way back up. But then the Broncos, they're at number 8. So 2 quality wins, but no wins against like elite, like top of the top teams. Like no win against the Lions, no win against the Ravens. Could have done it against that Rams team, and then they didn't get it done. But obviously we know Jonathan Taylor, Offensive Player of the Year, looks amazing. Shane Steichen's got this offense rolling. And shout out to my boy Daniel Jones for proving the haters wrong. Number 3, I got the Los Angeles Rams. This is the team that beat the Colts. They might not be consistent every week. That Eagles loss, it did happen. Whether it was a fluke or not, they did let it go, and they let them come back and gave them the opportunity to win. And then that loss to the 49ers, that one really sticks in my head. It's just one of those weird Rams games that I do kind of write off a little bit. This is a 5-2 football team. They did beat the Colts, and they smacked the Jaguars without Puka. Now that was, before the bye, so having Puka back after the bye, that extra time with all this coaching and this, veteran quarterback, I expect great things from this Rams team moving forward. And they're staying put at number 3. Number 2, I got the Detroit Lions also staying put. Not much to say about the Lions. I think we know who they are. Amazing offense. Defense looks healthier. But just as a reminder, 5-2, their 2 losses against the Packers and the Chiefs. I mean, that is... I don't know if there's anyone who has 2 more excusable losses in the NFL besides the Buccaneers losing to the Lions and Eagles. I think Packers, Chiefs, it's got to be the first most acceptable, 2 losses that any team has. But then their 2 best wins, the Buccaneers, the Bucs were injured and whatnot, but they were skating by winning games like that. So them winning that game in the manner they did was something that the number 2 team in football should do. And then the Ravens, when they still had Lamar, doing the same thing the Bills did. Very, very impressive. A hump that the Lions hadn't gotten over in the past, beating those elite AFC quarterbacks. So I love to see that. So they stay put at number 2. And then number 1, also staying put. Number 1, the Kansas City Chiefs. They are 4-3. They did lose to the Eagles. They did lose to the Jaguars on primetime. But they did beat this number 2 Lions team for me. And I think we know they're a different team with Rashee Rice. So I'm very, very high on them moving forward. And I expect them to probably hold this spot for almost the entirety of the year, unless if they suffer some kind of major injury. So that's Chiefs 1, Lions 2, Rams 3, Colts 4, Packers 5. 6, the Bills. 7, the Eagles. 8, the Broncos. 9, Buccaneers. 10, the New England Patriots. Boys.